Welcome my friends back to Marvel Snap. Now self-destruction is one of the most fleshed out archetypes here in the game. How can you get started with it down in pool 1 and how can you upgrade it to be capable in pools 2 and pools 3? We're going to break it all down. Now here in pool 1 we don't have a lot holding together the self-destruction synergies. What we're doing is we are stapling them onto the classic Zoo archetype, with the goal being that we are going to destroy Nova, a 1/2. When this is destroyed, give your cards +1 power. This will let us propagate a lot of buffs, hopefully, onto our rapid body spam that is core to the Zoo style of play. To be able to destroy the Nova, we have the Carnage. He's our optimal target. A 2/2 on reveal, destroy your other cards here, +2 power for each destroyed. We don't want to chew up any of our really valuable cards or any of the cards that we want to be getting this Nova buff, but he can help clear away stuff like the squirrels out of Central Park or the raptors from Savage Land, and then also eat up the Nova, get a nice little burst of tempo himself, and spread those buffs out across our side of the board. We also have Deathlock just to make the Nova a little bit more consistent, a 3/5 on reveal, destroy your other cards at this location. Deathlock doesn't get any benefit, he's just the sadist. He loves killing things, not necessarily because it makes him stronger, but just for the fact of killing them. So the only gain here is if we are able to blow up the Nova. We also have Wolverine, just to have another piece that we could potentially feed into the Carnage, a 2/3. When this is destroyed or discarded, play it at a random location. Fun thing with Wolverine is you can play it to Death's Domain, it'll be able to still stick to the board. You can play it down to, say, Danger Room, and it doesn't matter if the Danger Room decides to take that 25% shot at the Wolverine, he's going to always get value down there on the board. The last self-destruction synergy card that we have here is Angel, and actually incredible card. 1/2, when one of your cards is destroyed, this flies out of your deck to replace it. So he is one of the very niche cases where you are able to thin out your deck. If we can trigger a destruction early, then we're more likely to be able to pull that Angel from the deck, and then also more reliably hit our combos with our other key cards, such as being able to find the Blue Marvel married up to the Onslaught to get that huge burst of buffs on the board. Diving in here to be able to see how the game plays out, we've got an opening hand of all of our self-destruction synergies. You'll love to see it. And then Blue Marvel, well, thank you very much. And Onslaught, we have our whole curve is planned out right before us. So we have the deck list that I like for Pool 1 up above. If you guys have another list that you've been finding success with of exclusively Pool 1, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to see how you guys are finding success with this. And if you're missing any cards, want to talk deck optimization, card substitutions, I love chatting all things Snap down in the comments. So we're going to look to set up Wolverine and then blow him up with the Deathlock, while we also set up the rest of the board with as many bodies as possible to absorb these propagated Nova buffs. And now, Onslaught being knocked down to a 5 is quite nice. It means that we can squeeze in an extra 1-drop play into that final turn. We just have to pace ourselves as to when we're choosing to go with... Okay, and the Raft now? Oh, interesting. How much tempo do we want to put into the Raft? Now here's the thing. At the risk of deviating from our normal game plan, I think it's actually worth it to try and score the Raft. I think it is. And fun nuance about the Raft is the Raft will give you the bonus as soon as you have laid the cards down, face down. They don't have to be flipped up, meaning that if we finish with a Carnage to eat this whole side, we would still get the free 6-drop. Now, not that we would really want to, because that looks like a terrible waste of resources. But we'll see. It looks like we're just going to play the Blue Marvel here to be able to score it. And then we can set up something else with the Carnage to blow up the Nova, propagate the buffs, play the free 6-drop, yada, yada, yada. I'm feeling great. We're going to snap.
Assemble.
They've got the Captain America, very powerful. The Elektra, thankfully not finding a target on one of our Ooh. A rock? Here's the thing. I thought it was way too much of a reaction for a rock. It's not good, but the rock is still able to pick up the Blue Marvel buff and the Nova buff, so we'll be able to work it in here with our final turn play. The opponent looking strong with the Captain America, the Ant-Man, the Wolfsbane. They're really solidifying their lanes on left and right, which is fine for me. The left lane I kind of want to sack anyway, and the opponent has retreated. The tempo out of this deck is just too much. Alright, I didn't want to spend too much time on the Pool 1 version here, but we have to show some of our self-destruction synergies. So we've got Washington, D.C. here, Jotunheim. Here is our Carnage. Well, we can feed him a lot of bodies out of this play. We want to play Mr. Sinister to Washington, D.C. The Sinister clone has no ability and will be able to grab the Washington, D.C. buff. And then we're going to try and rush Wolverine to get eaten by the Carnage. Hopefully thin out the Angel and then be in a good spot to get the Blue Marvel down with as many bodies on the field as possible. Interesting. Well, now I definitely don't want to feed the monster to Carnage. That'd be terrible. Where do we want to put our burst of power? Perhaps we just hold for a little bit here. We can play... I don't want them necessarily getting nerfed by the Jotunheim. Not for very long, at least. So let's go ahead and play our Ant-Man down here. And then... next turn, we can play Wolverine Carnage. Carnage will be up to 4. That at least gives us some presence in Jotunheim. And then we roll into playing the Blue Marvel, the Onslaught if we draw it, and whatever else we can combo with. Yeah, this makes sense to me. They've got the Captain America. Yeah, being a little bit more effective with their energy expenditure there. We do have the Onslaught. So here goes Wolverine Carnage. This is going to be able to break the Wolverine, buff the Carnage up to 4, give us Angel as well. Wolverine will move wherever, hopefully left to be able to score the Ant-Man, and then it's straight into Blue Marvel Onslaught to propagate all the buffs. Elektra, taking down the Ant-Man. Fair is fair, but there we get the Angel. Actually better to get pulled out here rather than through the Jotunheim. Ooh, they're gonna lock down the Kiln with that Scarlet Witch play. That is wild. Alright, we have no chance of being able to win the kill now, so we're going to have to fight it out over Jotunheim. I don't love this option, but that's what we're stuck with. We can get +6 to Washington, D.C., and we already have a 6-point lead. I don't see the opponent being able to contest us in Jotunheim either. Oh, but they are going to try. Okay, sure. Blue Marvel themselves. Okay, and then do you have the Onslaught? It was unfortunate that we never found the Nova to be able to pop, but we're going to see a lot of destroyed Novas in the matchups to come. They have 2 plays here. Arrow, trying to pull in. And then the Rocket. Oh, by 1, we take those. And the arrow created by Agent 13. Oh, very interesting, very interesting. Upgrades here in Pool 2. This is where we start to flesh out enough cards with self-destruction synergies that comes to the forefront of our deck playstyle. So let's look at our newcomers. First up that I want to cover is Bucky Barnes, an incredible engine piece for the self-destruction archetype, a 2/1. When this is destroyed, create the Winter Soldier in its place. You have to destroy it to get value, but if you destroy it, oh, what value. The Winter Soldier is a 2/6, no ability, meaning that he will get buffed by Washington, D.C., he will get buffed by Patriot, but that's like a very fringe Pool 3 case. This 2/6 stat line is beautiful, and feeding the Bucky to Carnage just creates such a burst of tempo for that location. You're getting the 2/6 on the Winter Soldier, the 2/4 on the Carnage, and then you're also hopefully thinning Angel from the deck still to be able to add on just that little bit of extra punch onto the location. We've also added in Killmonger. On reveal, destroy all 1-cost cards, single-handedly stopping Zoo in its tracks. We have to come to grips with the fact that we might destroy some of our own 1-drops with the Killmonger. Is they're going to be sacrificed for the greater good effectively. Killmonger giving us the answer to Zoo, which is so prevalent right now, is really powerful and absolutely worth it. Also because he can just on command kill the Nova to distribute buffs to our side of the board, so these sacrificing our 1-drops is really not hurting us very much at all. Another newcomer here is Sabretooth, 3/4. When this is destroyed, return it to your hand. It costs 0. Now in Pool 3, Sabretooth starts to get edged out. Bless you, baby. And we are still able to run with it here to bring these synergies together, and we're actually really relying on Sabretooth here in Pool 2. Let's run through our optimum play that is also going to introduce yet another newcomer, though not a new face for Pool 2. We've already had Moon Girl in Pool 1, but what we are looking to do is play Forge on turn 2. Then the Sabretooth will get buffed by playing it on turn 3. We'll destroy the Sabretooth on turn 4 with either Deathlock or Carnage. He returns to hand as a 0/6. On turn 5, we play the Moon Girl, copying the 0/6. On turn 6, we guarantee draw the America Chavez, and then we can play the 9-point Chavez and 2 free 6-power Sabretooth. That is absolutely a winning board state for us. It's so flexible, we can adapt to whatever the opponent is doing. It's a high roll, it's a complex combo, but I absolutely love it. diving in here, let's see how the deck performed. Now, we're on the Super Teddy account. We're playing up against opponents that are in Pool 3, have complete collections, are at infinite rank. They're going to be hitting us with the good stuff. Can the Pool 2 deck still hold up? I think that we have a shot. Now, the deck becomes even leaps and bounds more powerful into Pool 3, and there's a lot of flexibility there, but we're going to cover that in a second. Right now, looking at what we want to line up. Oh, the Forge is leaning into such a high roll, but I want to do it anyway. Hopefully we draw the Sabretooth here, because otherwise we have all of our ducks in a row to be able to play the Sabretooth, destroy it, and Moon Girl, the exact combo that I had described. Ooh, the opponent losing one of their, or they lost the Mr. Sinister. They're keeping the clone. I'm not sure if the clone has the exact memories, a la Invincible, or not. Okay, so Forge is not going to let us play right into the Sabretooth, but that's all right. That is all right. Let's go ahead and lay down the Deathlock. It'll get rid of the, well, maybe we don't even want to get rid of the Forge. We could simply play to Danger Room. But if we play over here, then we get the potential draw out of Asgard. Interesting. What do we like? The Killmonger being able to destroy their Nightcrawler later is going to be nice. Let's go ahead and play it down. Losing the one strength body on the Forge is not much of a loss for us. Okay, they turn Danger Room into Flooding with the Storm here. We're ahead at Asgard. We thin out the Angel. Okay, there's a turn late. Couldn't you have been just one card higher? Making me look like a fool, Sabretooth. Do I want to contest Flooding at all? I mean, we have a chance with the Angela Wolverine here. Able to burst. What's it going to be? 6 power? It's not bad. Let's see what we get. And what they're going to show as well. They're playing into Dark Dimension. They get the Yondu. No, we lost the Chavez. Was hoping to be able to get them down. Here's our Carnage and our Nova. And the Bucky? Okay. Don't mind if I do. So there is actually a optimum order to playing the Nova and the Bucky. You want the Bucky destroyed first, then the Nova, because that will produce the Winter Soldier and then allow the Winter Soldier to grab the buff off of the Nova. So then we play the Carnage behind, and we pray. I don't know if we're going to be able to take this one, but I feel like this is a fairly good display of what we are trying to get out of the deck anyway. And the America Chavez was destroyed. We wanted to be able to lay down 9 points here. We're only going to be able to lay down 7 is what it looks like. But it's a pretty good 7 because the Sabretooth is going to come in here. The Killmonger as well, killing their Nightcrawler and their Yondu. And we're getting the buffs out of the Nova. I'm not going to snap because the opponent has 2 cards unrevealed. They probably have a plan. I'm expecting a Captain Marvel, giving them the flexibility of moving to the location that they're losing at. But here we go. Killmonger goes, kills the 1-drops. Cerebro now buffing. It's a Cerebro 2's list. Okay, they're able to get very powerful buffs here. Bringing Flooded up to 12. Yes, 12. Alright, the Bucky flips. Nova flips. Carnage eats him. Bucky destroyed creates the Winter Soldier in his place. That's the thematic cards here in Self-Destruction. I love it. I love it. And then the Sabretooth, just for good measure. Mr. Fantastic trying to give him a little bit of extra help at the Flooded. And then the Blue Marvel taking everything up to 3 and then buffing to 7, but it's not enough. Oh, we got it. We were just 1 draw away from being able to pull off the Sabretooth Forge Moon Girl combo. And if we'd been able to do that, we could have been just sailing. Into Pool 3, and we have evolved yet again. Now, in Pool 3, the Self-Destruction archetype is one of the best fleshed out archetypes in the entire game. There are so many different variations that you can play that end up piloting very differently. The one that I've chosen to showcase here allows us to keep the same core strategy that we were using in Pool 2, but really bring some hard-hitting upgrades with the Pool 3 option. So first off, Newcomer Death. Very core to the Self-Destruction archetype, costs 1 less for each card destroyed this game. Starts at 9, the most expensive card in the game, but we can reliably trigger so many destructions that we might even be able to play her for free coming into the final turn. That is definitely the goal, but just being able to mark her down to a very affordable price for the 12 power, Death is essential for this destruction archetype. We still have the Moon Girl Sabretooth lineup. We have added in as one of our 1-drops the Hood. I think, I'm going to say it, my favorite card in the game. The Hood is a 1/-2, so he's a detriment to play. But as soon as you play him, he creates the Demon, a 1/6. Incredible stat line value here. And then the 1/-2 is just something that is very easy for us to destroy, something that will then cycle in to feeding our Carnage. Hopefully the Killmonger can wipe it away with no worries left. Then we also have Deadpool coming in as another huge engine card. He wants to be destroyed. He comes back twice as strong every time he is destroyed. So what is core to this game plan is being able to get buffs on him before he is destroyed. That's why we've got the Nova. We want the Nova to pop, bring Deadpool up to 2. Then when Deadpool is destroyed, he comes back to hand as a 4 strength. We can play him again, destroy him again. Then he's at 8 strength. If we can destroy him yet again, he's at 16. This is where Deadpool can really get out of hand. We also have the Forge to be able to buff Deadpool. Deadpool is the priority target now, but Sabretooth, as before, is our secondary target. We have the Moon Girl still. She's looking to either be able to copy multiple Sabretooth or multiple Deadpools. If we can get 2 of these guys popping off, it can go crazy. We have to mention that we have also cut Deathlock for Venom. Venom is a 3/1, so a weaker stat line than Deathlock starts with, but Venom is able to maintain the strength of all the cards that he destroys. Unreveal, destroy your other cards at this location, add their power to this card. So if we can feed Venom the strength of our mid-strength Deadpool and the strength of our Sabretooth, then Venom is looking good, and those cards that we destroyed are coming back to hand to get replayed to the board, and we can just keep on cycling the engine. Let's dive in here. I hope that we can pilot this deck to victory right here, right now. We have the Deadpool, the Carnage, the Moon Girl, the Death. Everything's lining up, and the Superflow is going to give us the energy to be able to blitz through these early turns. The opponent's snapping. They're very happy with Superflow or their hand state. I am as well. I'm not going to counter snap yet. I want to wait to be able to see all the locations and what my next draws are. We're so combo heavy with this deck that we really need we need some more information to see if we're going to be able to pull off what we want. Oh no. We have locked Deadpool to the Dark Dimension. We can still kill him with the Killmonger. We're going to have to draw into Killmonger to make that happen. Okay, let's go ahead and deploy Forge. Get the Forge down, and then hope to find Killmonger to break the Deadpool and get out there. They've got the Lockjaw. Interesting. What are we looking for out of these draws? I mean, the Killmonger is going to be very important. We get Squirrel Girl instead. Okay. We can work with this. I might... Well, we want to stack a lot of destructions if possible for the Carnage here. Yeah, I would really like to be able to see the Killmonger get the destructions and then play the Moon Girl to copy Death, play 2 Deaths at the end, and have that be our game plan. But let's try this. And we'll hold Carnage because we're generating... We have so much extra energy from the Superflow here early that we're in a good spot. They've got the Killmonger themselves. Okay, well, they're going to generate the destructions for us. You'll love to see it. The opponent actually bailing us out with Deadpool as well? Are you kidding me? Oh, thank you. Thank you, my opponent. Oh, incredibly helpful you have been. Storm is locking out flooding here, and then they have the Quicksilver. Okay, that shuffles. And Jubilee appears, pulling the Quicksilver back. Oh, baby. Sometimes Lockjaw just comes up blank. Absolutely blank. Do we have a way to be able... Ooh. Oh. Flooding is so juicy to be able to win it here. We could just play the Death. And then how are they going to stop us? But I could also wait, and then I could play the Moon Girl to copy the Death and have 2 Death. How are they stopping us then in the other spot? I don't know. I feel like this is worth it. And then after this, it's going to be turn 5, so we destroy the Deadpool. How much energy are we going to have? We'll have 6 energy. It's just... I don't know. We'll get Deadpool a little bit larger. Moon Girl is kind of just hanging. But we want Death to be able to lock this one up. If they have Claw, it's still not enough. Claw with the +5 is still not enough. They have to have another way to be able to get buffs over here. So, with 6 energy, we go Hood, Deadpool, Carnage. Where do I go? Venom. That's not Venom. 6 energy. yeah, it's Hood, Deadpool, Carnage. Moon Girl's just chilling out. We'll see what we draw into. Maybe we get a Killmonger. Killmonger would be fun. Pop that Quicksilver. Give us a little bit more leverage. And then we'll be able to have a large Carnage here. We'll have a 4-point Deadpool to lay down. And a 6-point Hood. The opponent does have Killmonger that got cycled back into the deck from the Lockjaw. That could be coming back around to shut us up. We'll see. It'd be very unfortunate if that was their final turn plan. But it could very well happen. Let's see. Deadpool comes back. Odin. Odin just for the big body. Fascinating. Okay, okay. How do we combat this? We want Nova getting destroyed to give all these buffs. And then I can still play the Demon and the Deadpool, which will surmount them at the Superflow. I don't know, if they play the Killmonger, we're out to lunch. Huh. I'll take that risk. I'll take that risk. On you having redrawn the Killmonger, then wanting to replay it here, they can play to the Dark Dimension. Yeah, and because we flip first, even if we hid our 1-drops on the Dark Dimension, they'd still be able to get it off. Captain Marvel. It's not good enough, my friend. No, no, no. What is this last card they were hiding under Dark Dimension? Vision. What a game, what a game. I love it. Victory. So here is my favorite final form of the self-destruction archetype, but as I said, there is a myriad of different options and how you can tinker in and try and optimize the different lists. You're going to hear this list called a death pool list. So while I have been calling these all Carnage lists in the early pools, once you get into pool 3, it's really Death and Deadpool that come into the forefront as being the linchpins of the deck. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Let me know down in the comments if this has been helpful, how the deck serves you if you give it a try. Till next time, thank you guys for watching and keep on snapping.